Ladies and gentlemen, do not attempt to adjust your motion picture screen. It is I, Zach Hval, singer, songwriter, guitar player extraordinaire, live and in the flesh. I know I've been away for a bit, but we're here, we're back, we're doing the thing that we like to do, which is make music for the folks. I know that it's been crazy lately. And listen, I don't have the solutions, but I do have a guitar in my hand and rock music in my heart. And we're going to do some tunes here for you, some classics, some that you probably recognize because I've done them a lot here on these streams back when I was doing them weekly. All right, we might be dropping some frame rates here, but that's okay, ladies and gentlemen. It's okay. Technology has plagued us since it's... well, you know, when sticks and stones times and the Unga Bunga times, we're going to get through it. Man, people do these things on iPhones, so a fancy camera and some microphones and stuff like that should do it. In any case, folks, I bought this house back in December with Mrs. Z, man. We're still going strong, but home ownership is a lot. So I took time away from music, and then I was just, you know, in a general sense, feeling kind of burnt out. So I decided to take some time off of that. I didn't even post like YouTube Shorts and TikToks and things like that. Just started playing. I mean, I was still playing guitar and stuff like that, but I was kind of mostly doing it for me, if you will. Which is how I started. It was just me, the guitar, and, you know, whatever I wanted to play, I could play. And I kind of felt the desire, the burning desire, if you will, to start doing live streams again and making the content that you all know and love. It's just going to come a lot slower, and, you know, that's okay. I got a pretty sweet setup. I can't complain. Look, I've had ups and I've had downs. Everything's cool. I'll get over it, but not really. The burning desire to make rock and roll music for the kids is still there. So we're going to do one here that's from, released as a single last year, 2025, and I've done it solo. I've done it with the backing tracks. It's the first track off of my latest album called Through Doors and Walls, which is streaming at the link below. I'm not going to tell you to like and subscribe because I hate doing that, but if you wouldn't mind. What's most important to me is that you listen to the music. Consider this your free trial, if you will. Okay. Let's see if I can remember the words to this song. So your good girl left the other day. She's gone away to stay. And you're like a dog that's gone stray. Even your mom, she's old and gray. You're too sad to sing the blues. At least Jesus loves you. The rent is high and always due. And there's bills and taxes to pay too. Each day's a struggle to get through. You hope these words still ring true. You're too sad to sing the blues. At least Jesus loves you. And this mean old world has got you down. You're sadder than a depressed clown. When someone else always takes the crown. Remember these words and pass them round. You're too sad to sing the blues. At least Jesus loves you. Don't you know what the good book says? haven't you ever gone to church? Has no one shared with you the good news? When you're too sad to sing the blues, at least Jesus loves you. Testify. Sad to sing the blues, at least Jesus loves you. Yeah, remember that one? Saucy Crew. All right, everything is looking healthy on the live stream front. So we're going to keep on trucking. Of course, I do have my lovely assistant, the silent producer, out there, fielding all of your burning desires, your questions, your concerns, your whiny, snivelly complaints. I'm just kidding. Folks, I'm gonna be on the level with you here. I don't know what I'm doing most of the time when I do these live streams, but a strange thing happened to me. I wounded myself. I went down in the field of battle, but I was down but not out. I used these hybrid picking techniques, as you no doubt have seen me do ad nauseum here on the channel. I've even taught them, and it requires you to have just a little bit of fingernail, which I do not have on the middle finger. I'm not going to flip you off because YouTube already doesn't like me. The high sheriff of YouTube and I. Listen, folks, we've been on what am I trying to say? Words are hard. We've been at odds with each other over the years. The high sheriff of YouTube has tried to tell me that my own music is not my own music. I got busted for singing my own music. You know, this is why we should be worried a little bit about technology. The boomers are right a little bit. Don't let it get to your head. But anyways, we're gonna do a rock and roll tune. Suffice to say, I'm gonna get an owie here, but it's gonna be all right. It's gonna be okay. I'm gonna do the hybrid pick and tune here. This is a song I did back in 2024. Wow, does time fly? Summer 2024 is a tune called White Line Fever. It's just riffs, rhythm, and pure rock and roll destruction. And that's what I do, folks. Except for when I've got the acoustic guitar, but we're not doing that tonight. Anyways, we'll see how this goes. Pour one out for me. Yeah, something like that. That's what we call rock music, ladies and gentlemen, and it is good for your soul, good for your corns as well, ladies and gentlemen. You got bad corns. I'm getting the thumbs up from the silent producer. Dude, I love technology. I can see things on my watch. Well, that's another thing. I got the fancy watch, ladies and gentlemen, because I'm getting older. I hit the big 3-1. And, dude, I don't know. I was feeling good. You know, I was riding high at 29, turned 30 over my honeymoon, enjoyed a whole year being 30. And then 31 hit me. And it's like all of a sudden, I'm fat. It's a good thing. And look, any day that you're taking in air and holding down your nutrients is a good day. But man, I'm holding down the nutrients, if you know what I mean. Gone are the days when you can crush like 9 slices of pizza and drink 10 beers and like wake up the next morning and 1, not be hungover, 2, not gain weight. You know, it's like, man, I eat a brownie and step on the scale and it did some damage, you know, and that sucks because I like me my sweet treats, you know. I could live with just about, you know. The May Queen says, White Line Fever, always a crowd favorite. That's right. I can live without, well, I need water, but I could live without beer. I could live without, like peanut butter. That would be really hard. But I don't think I could give up, like, candy forever, you know. I can just not buy it. That's not a problem. But, if I told Mrs. Z-Man never to bake anything again, I think that would make her sad because she likes baking and also she likes her sweet treats. But also, I am a real-life cookie monster, dude. But in any case, you tend to hang on to weight the older you get. It's weird. It's almost like my doctor told me about this, But in any case, I don't know. Oh yeah, I gotta track my calories now, and I gotta make sure I'm exercising a little bit more so that I can, not drop dead at 35, and still enjoy my sweet treats. Anyways, this is a tune of mine, harkening back to the old days, from 2023. It's an instrumental tune. It's called Roy's Groove, named after Roy Buchanan. Sometimes you got to let it simmer for a bit. You got to let it swim, in other words. This new setup makes it so much easier to switch guitars compared to the old setup. Plus, you didn't have to worry, ladies and gentlemen. I've never divulged this, but when I was at the apartment setup, 'cause that's where I was living before I moved here. Some of you who've been long-time listeners may returning after a while may notice I'm in different surroundings. As I've said before, we did buy a house, and this is the music room in that house. I no longer have to share space with the day job. My little brother just texted me, and he's at the Millennium Falcon at the Star Wars park in Disney with his fiance. So I'm going to pretend I didn't see that. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to channel my jealousy into this here tune called No Way Out from my 2024 album called Imaginary Songs. Ladies and gentlemen, that is probably peak, Zach. Not to discourage you from listening to any of my other entries. They are all good and all will provide you some form of entertainment value. But I got it right. Very seldom can you hear an artist say that, without them lying or, pretending like, they have some level of humility. Look, is it perfect? No. But every track on there is super sick. So do with that what you will. It gets nasty. Yes. I don't know. I never know what's going to happen on that. I don't even think I played it right, and it's my own song, which is kind of wild. There's a couple parts there where I was like, you know what? I don't think I'm playing this right, but it feels right, and doggone it. But boy, oh boy, does it throw my guitar out of all. Sometimes when you hit the Bigsby here a little too hard, it puts your guitar in some sort of like pan-Egyptian tuning. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Listen, I'll tell you one thing. There's a whole community of, there's this weird emphasis on like over-reliance on technique. And what happened is, art as a business, any other business, it's competitive. It thrives on competition. A guitar player posts something and you want to do something cool like that. And it's like, the constant one-upsmanship. And that's how you get better. But at a certain point, we all kind of just like plateaued collectively. And all anybody cared about was having like insane technique. And so what happened was there's a lot of technically proficient players, but none of them have the gift of melody, shall we say. And so, now it's like I only play in 7/8 timing, try and clap along. I'll never forget the first time I was at an open mic night, dude, and the guy was killing it up until that point where it's like, man, there are musicians in the audience that are going to perform after you that can't even clap along to 7/8. Like, so now you're just making yourself look like a tool. And then Joni Mitchell kind of invented this, but it was like every song had to be in a different like weird Celtic tuning. And it's like it worked for Joni Mitchell, but for we're not Joni Mitchell, we're just schlubs, So it's just like, look at me. My thing is I play in pan-Egyptian tunings, and it's like, not that I'm judging people, ladies and gentlemen, although I totally am, but at a certain point, it's like, can't you just do something that's, Jimmy Page, Roy Buchanan, these guys all had, a few tricks under their sleeves that they used. And they made some of the most incredible music known to man. It's like even Jeff Beck at a certain point, once he realized that he didn't like playing with picks no more, and he kind of just stopped there, he still created some of the most impactful guitar music that the world has ever seen. And even people like Jimi Hendrix had basic guitar technique, and he was the best among us. B.B. King as well. These guys found their thing that worked for them, and they milked it. Until Jimmy's bitter end, but BB had a good. We just passed the end of the 11th anniversary of our dearly departed BB King, and so I don't know, originality, I guess. I've always been me. There's lots of stuff I like to try every now and again, but at the core, I'm the same guitar player I always was. Speaking of Jim Hendrix, we're going to do a tune by Country Jim Hendrix here. This is called... I almost forgot the name of it. Luckily, I wrote it down. It's called Villanova Junction. He did this at Woodstock. He did it with the band The Gypsies. I like to do an amalgamation of different versions of it, plus me. So this is another one of those tunes that gets a little chaotic, but we're gonna work through it. Yeah. That was Villanova Junction Blues or something like that, and that felt good. I liked that. I felt that one in my corns. All right, we're going to do a blues. We haven't done a blues, a straight blues. I've hinted at it, but we're going to do a straight blues here. Of course, in June it becomes gay blues. Peace and love. These are just jokes, folks. Don't cancel me. But it's a blues shuffle in the key of D. It's from my last album called Through Doors and Walls. I almost said the wrong album name. Man, it's like you get the further past 3 o'clock in the afternoon. That's another thing that's happening to me the older I get. The further past 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I turn into a pumpkin or whatever, as the old folks say. I just, my faculties aren't there. Which is why I've cut way back on drinking, because, my brain is already going away. Let's not throw any more roadblocks, you know what I mean? Am I right or am I right? Does anybody out there relate to what I'm saying? Probably not. Anyways, the song is called A Lovely Day for a Shuffle, and the album is called Through Doors and Walls. It's the one that's streaming at the link below in the description box. I should have put a comment in there for it, but I didn't think to do that. All right, let's get bluesy. All right, we're going to do another tune of mine. This is called Me and Lady Luck It Is from that Imaginary Songs record. And it's sort of like a fusiony sort of a thing. I usually stick to more of a rock and blues kind of a thing for it, but sometimes it gets jazzy. I don't know. The melody, for sure, is certain. You'd hear something like Wes Montgomery do. So we'll hit you with that, and this is another one where I think about random things. Sometimes it's my wife's bottom. Sometimes it's what I'm going to eat for dinner, if I'm going to have a snack later, things like that. I should be thinking about, scales and chord changes and whatnot, but sometimes my mind just wanders, and those are my favorite types of tunes to jam out to, honestly, folks. You won't find fancy techniques here with me, but you will find, riffs, rhythm, and stirring melodies, as it were. Yeah. That felt one. That felt like a good one. Alrighty. Hey, let's do another tune by Big Jim. What do you say? He's right behind me there, staring over my shoulder, so no pressure. This is a tune by Country Jim Hendrix called Red House. If you're just now tuning in, you're tuning in near the end of our presentation, but I am Zach Hval, singer, songwriter, guitar player extraordinaire. And this is Red House. Oh, yes. Red house over yonder, so where my baby stays. Lord, there's a red house over yonder, so where my baby stays. I ain't been home to see my baby in about a 99 and 1/2 days. Well, in a minute something's wrong. The key won't unlock this door. Wait a minute, something's wrong. Key won't unlock this door. I got a real bad feeling that my baby don't live here no more. You know what that means? It's time for the guitar to come out. Check it. Might as well go back over yonder, way back yonder across the hill. over yonder, way back yonder across the hill. 'Cause if my baby don't love me no more, well, I'll tell you something, Dua Lipa will. Yeah, a little bit of that Crimson Domicile. Never hurt anyone. I'm gonna do one more for you, and then we'll send this one off into the ether. Of course, if you are just now tuning in, this is a monthly live stream. Hopefully, I make big promises and never follow through with them. So we're gonna try to start getting the habit of doing these monthly. I don't think I'll ever go back to weekly live streaming. I just don't have it in me. The schedule I have now just does not allow that. But once a month, I think I can pull off. More on that later. This is a tune hearkening back to the days of the Great Pestilence, although they tell me that there's a couple of things going on in the world that may suggest that we might be heading back that way. And that's unfortunate. But we're going to forget about that, and we're going to forget that I said that, and we're going to go back to 2020, back before we were all afraid of AI. We were just kind of afraid of AI, and we liked Tiger King, and we liked DoorDash, and we didn't realize that DoorDash treated employees craftily. And we didn't realize that, all the other horrible stuff that was coming down the pipe was about to happen. And we all just singularly lived on Netflix, HBO, back with Netflix. Remember when Netflix wasn't doing ads and you just paid for Netflix and it didn't have ads? I remember those days. Remember when WrestleMania wasn't on ESPN, ruined by commercials? I remember that. And so we're going to go back there, at least for the time being, and we're going to think optimistically about the road ahead. You want to know why? Because that's the name of this next tune, which is going to be the last tune that I'm going to do tonight. Not ever, just tonight. And it's called The Road Ahead. Dig it. Full circle, ladies and gentlemen, I pulled a sneaky on you. I switched to my Eric Johnson setup because I just like playing really loudly through a Marshall. Guitar nerds know. Ladies and gentlemen, I have been Zach. Like I got my fancy frog and toad shirt on. I don't know. I'm still figuring out the lighting in this room. Ladies and gentlemen, I have been Zach Hval, singer, songwriter, guitar player extraordinaire. Thank you so much for tuning in to whatever this was. It was once upon a time called Musical Hangout. If you want to know what that is, click the link in the description down below for the playlist called Live Streams. There's an archive of over 100 or so live streams, including this one. The one I did earlier this year, and the whole kit and caboodle, ladies and gentlemen. You can slowly watch my hairline recede in real time. It's slowly, you have to pay for the OnlyFans content. You want to see me without a hat these days. In any case, make sure you maybe subscribe, maybe follow me on Facebook, Instagram, things like that. I know for here on YouTube and TikTok, I do an ongoing series on physical media, showing off CDs and stuff like that. Some vinyl records as well, mostly vinyl. And then I've also got many guitar lessons as well. Of course, there'll be long-form videos coming very soon. I'm hoping with the turnaround time of those being longer that the quality goes up, but we'll see. Until next time, I'm Zach Hval, singer, songwriter, guitar player extraordinaire, signing off, reminding you of that time that you fell down on the trampoline and everybody just kept bouncing so you couldn't get up, and how that was actually just training for real life. And so what I would like for you to do now, ladies and gentlemen, is not just take it easy, but take it. We'll see you next time.